Hi, I'm Bugsy and I'm a recovering addict. I'm going to be reading just for today, December 17th, 2024, Service Motives. Page 367, basic text, page Roman numeral XXVI 26. Everything that occurs in the course of NA service must be motivated by the desire to more successfully carry the message of recovery to the addict who is still suffering. Our motives are often a surprise to us. In our early days of recovery, they were almost always a surprise. We've learned to check our motives through prayer, meditation, the steps, and talking to our sponsor or other addicts. When we find ourselves with an especially strong urge to do or have something, it's particularly important to check our motives to find out what we really want. In early recovery, many of us throw ourselves into service with great fervor because we have started a regular practice of motive checking. It takes a while before we become aware of the real reasons for our zeal. We may want to impress others, show off our talents, or be recognized and important. Now, these desires may not be harmful in another setting, expressed through another outlet. In NA service, however, they can do serious damage. When we decide to serve NA, we make a decision to help addicts find and maintain recovery. We have to carefully check our motives in service, remembering that it's much easier to frighten away using addicts than to convince them to stay. When we show them game playing, manipulation, or pomposity, we present an unattractive picture of recovery. However, the unselfish desire to serve others creates an atmosphere that is attractive to the addict who still suffers. Just for today, I will check my motives for the true spirit of service. Your recovery is not a pissing contest. None of our recovery is a pissing contest. We don't go to the fellowship. We don't go to the Narcotics Anonymous meetings. We don't go to gatherings to show off how much better we are at recovering than everybody else. Look, I brought the coffee because, I'm in recovery. I'm just doing my service. Look, I'm running the meeting because I'm so good at recovery that they trust me to do it. That is not what recovery is about. Because you can be there 1-2 times and still have a service. Just because you have years under your belt, months under your belt, weeks, whatever you got under your belt, doesn't mean that you are better than anybody else in that room. Because we all started as a newcomer. And if you're in there to show them how much better you are at sobriety and, I have years, okay? And you only have 2 days. Oh my God. You are going to do nothing but scare the newcomer away thinking, wow, I could never do that. They're right. They are better than me. They have years under their belt and I have 2 hours. I can't stay here. Look at how much greater they are. Obviously, they're better than me because they get to run the meeting. They get to have a service. They get to have a commitment. And look at me. I'm just this nobody off the street and I just can't do this. And then there's even worse moments where you're so much better than the newcomer because I have a commitment. And then behind the scenes talking crap about every single person in there. Oh my gosh, you know how much heroin that person used? Do you know how much meth that person was on? Oh my gosh, they're probably not really sober. They're just pretending. Now the newcomer thinks, no matter how sober I get, they're going to judge me. They're going to think that I'm still using, or they're going to not believe anything I have to say. I'm not coming back. This is just a room full of judgmental, pompous assholes, and I'm not coming back. So please, I don't care if you have 200 years or 200 hours clean. Your clean time is not a pissing contest to show other people how much better you are in life. Your clean time is to show that it is possible to recover and to remain sober. That is why we stay clean. Not just because it's good for us, but to show others we can recover. You have 20 minutes clean and I got 20 years. Come on, I'm going to show you how to get there. Not, oh my gosh. 20 minutes, yeah, you'll be back out by tonight. Who would want to stay if somebody acted like that? Who would want to keep coming back if they felt like every time they came back, the time that they got under their belt doesn't mean shit because, hey, it's not 2 years. come back when you have real time. No. We want the people with 2 minutes. We want the people with just put it down before they walked in. We want those people to come in. We want them to take over the chairs that are being filled by those who have decades under their belt. We want them to grow in their recovery. And if all you're doing for your recovery, if your recovery is only based on how much better you think somebody else is, then you're doing it wrong. And I don't ever say you're doing recovery wrong, because I like to say if you don't have a sponsor, if you don't do the steps, if you don't go to meetings, you're still doing your recovery correct because it works for you. But the one way you're going to do your recovery and it's wrong is only if you're doing it to shove it in other people's faces about how much better you are. That's going to be so detrimental to the newcomer and even some old timers. You don't know who's listening. You don't know what your words are going to cause somebody else to think and do. When you keep telling somebody the same thing over and over, eventually they're going to start to believe it, especially if they have low self-esteem, especially if they're in a very vulnerable state. If you're sitting there saying, I'm better than you because I got more time. I'm better than you because I have a commitment. I'm better than you because I do a service. Eventually they're going to be like, wow, they are better than me. I shouldn't even be here. I'm not even worth being here. This isn't the place for me. I thought this was for everyone who has active addiction and is struggling. I thought everybody was allowed here, but now I know it's only for people who are better than me. And I'll tell you what, to the newcomer, everybody's better than them in their mind. In the newcomer's mind, the person fresh out of active addiction, every single person is better than them because I'm worthless. I'm not worth the air I breathe or the ground I stand on. I'm not worth love, appreciation. I'm not worth happiness. And that's why the newcomer is looking for somebody to say, yes, you are. But if you're that person sitting there and saying, nope, because you're just getting here, that person's never going to come back. Would you want to come back? Remember the day that you put that drug and that drink down. Remember how you felt about yourself. I'm worthless. I have no value. Now imagine you walk into a room full of people who have been in recovery for a good minute. Imagine all those people sit there and look at you and judge like, ew, oh my gosh, I did this 20 years ago. Where have you been? Imagine how fast you would walk out those doors. We don't want the newcomer to feel like anyone is better than them. Our job is to learn the ropes and teach it to others, and then learn from them too. We don't want to scare the newcomer away, even old timers. We don't want to bully them into thinking that they aren't worth their recovery, because we are all worth our recovery. So, like I said in the beginning, if you think that your recovery is a pissing contest, please excuse yourself to the bathroom because you're going to be alone in there for a long time. Anyway, be welcoming to the newcomer. Be proud of what you've done, but don't be condescending about it. Don't be judgmental to others about it because you may have more time than them. We all started at 0. Our goal is to get everybody else out of that 0 and gaining time. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well out there, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.